Hare Krishna Babuji.
So Uddhava continues. Now Uddhava is going to make an inquiry from Lord Krishna that whatever he had heard, previously Lord Krishna mentioned that he spoke Bhagavatam to Lord Brahma. Now Uddhava is going to ask that, can you please speak the essence of the same Bhagavatam, reconciling the contradictions which are mentioned in the previous couple of verses. So that was the intention with which he asked this question. ज्ञानं परं स्वात्मरः प्रकाशम् प्रोवाच कस्मै भगवान् समग्रम् अपीक्ष्यमं नो ग्रहणाय भर्तार् वदाञ्जसा यद्वृजिनं तरेम.
My Lord, kindly explain to us, if you think us competent to receive it, that transcendental knowledge which gives enlightenment about yourself and which you explained before to Brahmaji.
So same thing. So he's asking that whatever knowledge you spoke to Lord Brahma, the transcendental understanding about yours, Swatma Raha Prakasham. Raha means secret, Rahasya. So in order to reveal the secrets about yourself, about Swatma, about yourself, you spoke to Brahma the Chatushloki Bhagavatam. Can you kindly speak to me also the same thing? If you consider that na grahanaya, if you consider that me to be a qualified person, me in the sense both himself and Maitreya, if you consider both of us to be qualified to receive that understanding, that knowledge, may you kindly speak that. If we understand that, what is the benefit that we'll get? Vada Anjasa, please speak in an easy way so that we can understand. Yad Vrijinam Tarema, understanding which we will be delivered from this material existence, the ocean of material existence. So with that intention, Uddhava is actually requested Lord Krishna to speak about that knowledge which revealed about his transcendental nature to Brahma. A pure devotee like Uddhava has no material afflictions because he engages constantly in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. A devotee feels afflicted without the association of the Lord. Constant remembrance of Lord's activities keep the devotee alive. And therefore Uddhava requested that Lord please enlighten him with the knowledge of Srimad Bhagavatam as previously instructed to Brahmaji. So he just wanted to understand the more transcendental knowledge about Uddhava as a Lord Krishna and also the reconciliation of the contradictions. So with that intention, he requested Lord Krishna. So now, what Lord Krishna spoke to him, that is mentioned by Uddhava in the next verse. Iti ha vedita hardaya मह्यं सा भगवान् परा आदिदेशारविन्दाक्ष आत्माना परमां स्थितिम्.
When I thus expressed my heartfelt desires unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the lotus-eyed Lord instructed me about his transcendental situation.
So this is one of the interesting words which is being used by Jiva Goswami in various sandarbhas. So, but one thing is, Siti Avedita Hardaya, when I asked my heartfelt desire, that confusion which is there in my heart, which I wanted to get clarity, Mayam Sa Bhagavan Para, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Adideva Aravindaksha, who is lotus-eyed, he spoke about Atmana Paramam Sati, the transcendental situation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead that has been revealed by him. So it is not clearly mentioned what exactly Lord Krishna spoke, what exactly Uddhava and Maitreya heard. Nothing is mentioned. But the Acharyas throw a light saying that Lord Krishna spoke about the nature of his transcendental pastimes. That when Lord Krishna departed from Dwaraka, he and all his Nityasiddha associates, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and Balram, and his father Vasudeva and Devaki, and many other close associates of Lord Krishna who descended from the spiritual Dwaraka to this material world. They all entered into Aprakata Vrindavan, unmanifest Vrindavan to our material mundane eye. But only the Devata portions have gone to Prabhas. Even from Lord Krishna's point of view, Lord Krishna did not go to Dwarkadish, did not go to Prabhas. It is Narayana who descended from the Vaikuntha, which is located above Satyaloka, who is responsible for maintaining this entire world during the period of the maintenance. He went to Prabhas. And from Prabhas, all the Devatas went back to Swarga and Narayana went to that Vaikuntha, etc. etc. That is being mentioned. That indicates that Lord and his eternal associates, they did not leave from Dwarka. They did not fight among themselves. They did not kill each other. Even the Devatas also, who are supposed to live for the entire Manvantara period, they did not kill each other. They did not die in that battle of Prabhas. That is only an illusion created to bewilder the people of Kali Yuga. All these things consist in this one word, Paramam Stitim. That is the transcendental nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So by speaking this, he actually reconciled all the contradictions. Karmani ani asya bhavo abhavasate durga shrayovatari bayat palayanam kalatmano yet pramada vishwatrashrama swatman rate. So all these contradictions are also revealed in this. If we see only externally that Lord Krishna went to Prabhas and killed and died there, there is only one side of understanding. But the complete understanding is Lord Krishna did not go to Prabhas at all. Who went there is entirely a different person. That was Lord Vishnu or Lord Narayana. The four-handed Lord Vishnu appeared, who entered into Lord Krishna's transcendental form. So like that, the Paramam Stitim, the transcendental position of the Supreme Lord, is been revealed to Uddhava. This is only the Acharyas kind of throw a light. So what exactly Lord Krishna spoke to Uddhava, we don't know. The Paramam Stitim are significant here. The Lord transcendental situation was not even spoken to Lord Brahma when the 4 verses was explained. This transcendental situation comprises his dealings with the devotees engaged in transcendental loving service as exhibited at Dwarka and Vrindavan. So that is what it is. How Lord Krishna deals with his intimate devotees, that is his Paramam Stitim. Then later on Prabhupada writes, such a transcendental situation is hardly understood by those whose devotion is mixed with speculative knowledge or fruitive activities. The Lord's activities are confidential. Love are very rarely disclosed to the general devotees who are attracted by devotion mixed with knowledge and mysticism. Such activities are the inconceivable pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Only a pure devotee understands in truth or in complete. Others will not have complete understanding of these transcendental activities of the Supreme Lord. So that is what is indicated here. Saevam Saevamaraditapada Aditva Tattvatma Vibhoda Marga Pranamya Padau Parivritya Devam Iha Gatoham Pirahaturatma.
I have studied the path of understanding self knowledge from my spiritual master, the personality of Godhead, and thus, after circumambulating him, I have come to this place, very much aggrieved due to
So here then what happened? Uddhava is telling that having heard from Lord Krishna about his Paramam Sthiti, about his Lord's transcendental position and other, having reconciled all the contradictions, I have circumambulated the Supreme Lord for 3 times or 4 times, whatever it is, and offering obeisances at his lotus feet. Then Pranamya Padau Parivritya Devam Iha Agato. I have come to Vrindavan now, and from here I am on my way to Badrikashram, because that was the instruction of the Supreme Lord which he gave me in Dwaraka. So following Lord's instruction, I am on my way to Vrindavan. So this is how, this is what happened in all the in the previous days. So like that, Uddhava actually completed his narration to Vidura. Whatever happened till now from the point of Lord Krishna's, from the time of Lord Krishna's birth, everything he kind of summarized till today. So that is what is mentioned. Having understood the transcendental knowledge from the Supreme Lord directly, he is going to Badrikashram. So in this purport, Prabhupada actually explained the meaning of Paramam Sitim, which was supposed to be the purport of the previous verse, but here actually elaborately talks about trying to counter the other philosophers who actually talk about Lord Krishna and about Yadus in an indifferent manner. So Prabhupada trying to establish the authenticity of the knowledge given by Lord Krishna and also the 4 shlokas of Bhagavatam, etc. Prabhupada writes, the 4 very great and important verses from Srimad Bhagavatam are particularly taken out by the Mayavadi speculators who construe a different purport to suit their impersonal view of monism. But here is the proper answer to such unauthorized speculators. The verses of Srimad Bhagavatam are purely theistic science, understandable by the postgraduate students of Bhagavad Gita. The unauthorized dry speculators are offenders at the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna because they distort the purports of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam to mislead the public and prepare a direct path to hell known as Andha Tamishra. So kind of for Mayavadis and Shunyavadis and all these people actually come up with different conclusions taking the reference of Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita only. So in this verse, taking the reference of the previous verses, Prabhupada is trying to establish that only devotees understand about the Supreme Lord completely. Others can never understand. In spite of being called as greatly learned people, they cannot understand the transcendental position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is the property of devotees to understand the nature of the Supreme Lord. The monistic dry speculators have no business in Srimad Bhagavatam because this particular Vedic literature is forbidden for them by the great Athatha himself. So, Bhagavatam, first canto, first chapter, second verse. Dharma projita kaitavotra parama nirmastaranam satam. Dharma pra ujita kaitava atra. All the kaitava dharmas are rejected at the very beginning. Nirmastaranam satam. Bhagavatam is only meant for the nirmasaras. The pure devotees in whose heart there is no envy at all towards anything in this material world. Only they can understand Srimad Bhagavatam. They are the qualified people to read and understand the Srimad Bhagavatam. Others, even little envy, they cannot understand Srimad Bhagavatam. That was being presented at the very beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam. So like that. So at the end, Prabhupada writes, unless one is awakened to the stage of Uddhava, sorry. Okay. This is verse number 20. Unless one is awakened to the stage of Uddhava, everlastingly feeling the separation of the Lord in the transcendental love, as exhibited by Lord Chaitanya also, one cannot understand the real import of the 4 essential verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. One should not indulge in the unauthorized act of twisting the meaning and thereby putting himself on the dangerous path of offense. So this is what it is. So others cannot understand unless until one comes to the platform of Uddhava or Lord Chaitanya, etc. So that is the understanding which Uddhava gives here. Prabhupada elaborates on this. So basically said that Yaha gato aham virahatu ratma, experiencing separation from Lord Krishna and also being satisfied with the opportunity of having another darshan in Prabhas also. I have come here and I am on my way to Badrikashram. That is how Uddhava is expressing his current situation. Then he further says, Soham taddarshanalada viyogarti yuta prabho gamishe daitam tasya badaryashrama mandalam.
My dear Vidura, now I am mad for want of pleasure of seeing him. And just to mitigate this, I am now proceeding to Badrikashram in the Himalayas for association, as I have been instructed by him.
So here one interesting thing is that Soham taddarsha. Since I had darshan of Lord Krishna, even in Prabhas, I have become happy. I am happy now. Viyoga Arti Yuta Prabhu. Because I am separated from Lord Krishna, I am experiencing separation. I am simultaneously going through happiness and kind of distress. Gamishe Daitam Tasya Badari Ashrama Mandalam. And following his instruction, now I am on my way to Badrik Ashram. Experiencing simultaneously joy and pain of separation. So that is what he kind of mentions to Vidura. Prabhupada writes, a pure devotee of the Lord of the standard of Uddhava constantly associates with the Lord in the double perception of simultaneous separation and meeting. The pure devotee is not for a moment engaged in the transcendental. The pure devotee is not for a moment engaged in the transcendental service of the Lord. Execution of service is the main occupation of the pure devotee. Uddhava's separation from the Lord was unbearable, and therefore he started to Badrikashram in obedience to Lord's order, because the order of the Lord and the Lord himself are identical. As long as one is engaged in the execution of the order of the Lord, there is no factual separation from him. So Prabhupada actually mentions about this point many places. Since he was following the order of his spiritual master, his divine grace Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur, Prabhupada would always say that I am never separated from my Guru. My Guru is always with me in his order. So here Prabhupada is also writing in relation to Uddhava. Since Uddhava is following the order of Lord Krishna and going to Badrikashram, he is not experiencing the pain of separation. Though it is there, but he is not in separation from the Lord. Lord and Lord service are non-different from each other. So in that way.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, why was Uddhava not taken back, or he didn't enter into the Aprakat Leela? For some reason, he must have been given.
No, we were discussing many times. We mentioned from the beginning of this section. Lord Krishna wanted to send Uddhava to Badrikashram because he did not go there. He could not go there for the last 125 years. The sages of Badrikashram were eagerly waiting to have the association of Lord Krishna. So since he could not go, he sent Uddhava. Just like since he could not go to Vrindavan, he sent Uddhava previously. Now he is sending Uddhava there. Uddhava goes there and he comes back to Dwaraka and he enters into Dwaraka again, Aprakata Dwaraka. He does not stay in Badrikashram. He just goes to there to give them the message. That's
okay. Thank you.
Yatra Narayano Devo Narascha Bhagavan Rishi Mrudu Tivram Tapo Dirgam Sapeta Loka Bhavano.
There in Badrikashram, the personality of Godhead, his incarnation as the sages Nara and Narayana.
There is Badrikashram, the personality of Godhead, in his incarnation as the sages Nara and Narayana, has been undergoing great penance since time immemorial for the welfare of all amiable living entities.
So, he is talking about Badrikashram. In Badrikashram, there are many sages headed by Naranara and Rishi, who are Lord's incarnation and who are performing tapasya for the welfare of entire world. It is mentioned that Murdu, they are actually highly compassionate to the people of this world. In order to bestow auspicious to all of us, they are performing Tivra Tapa and Dirga Tapa, intense austerity and long-standing austerity. Tepate Loka Bhavanav, for the welfare of the people of this world. So it is said that at the beginning of the Brahma's day, the current Brahma's day, they were born, and since then they are performing austerities in the upper Himalayas. So till now 6 Manvantara periods already completed. 7th Manvantara is going on, and they will continue to perform austerities till the end of the 14th Manvantara. That means the whole day of Brahma they are performing austerities only for the purpose of giving us auspiciousness. So that is what is indicated in this verse. So,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, I did not understand how does they performing austerities benefit other people? Usually one performs austerity for gaining something for one's own purpose.
See, Prabhuji, if we perform austerity, it will be beneficial for us. But if Lord performs austerity, it is beneficial for everyone. So don't compare Lord with us. Lord, on his own personal sense, you don't have to do any austerity. It is only for our benefit he is performing austerity.
Okay,
He is performing an austerity in order to set an example. In order to set a good example, just by seeing, just by hearing that Lord Narayana is performing austerities, people also perform austerities, begin to perform austerities. Yad yad acharati shrestha tattad eva itaro jana.
Okay, Prabhuji. Yes, thank you.
So like that we are. So one Hiranyakashipu performed austerity. The entire world is put into difficulty. One Ravana performed austerity. The entire world is put into difficulty. Similarly, here one Lord is performing austerity, so that entire world will put into auspiciousness. Can be possible?
Yes, possible.
So like that we are. So then, Sukadeva Goswami takes on the narration. Now Sukadeva Goswami is speaking. Now Uddhava concluded his narration to Vidura. Now Sukadeva Goswami is telling that what are the further activities of Uddhava and Vidura. Sri Shuka Uvacha Iti Uddhavadupakarnya Suhrudam Dussaham Vadam Jnanena Samya Kshatta Shokam Utpatitam Buddha.
Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, after hearing from Uddhava all about the annihilation of his friends and relatives, the learned Vidura pacified his overwhelming bereavement by dint of his transcendental knowledge.
So Uddhava heard that Lord Krishna is just departed. Balramji departed. All the Yadus were departed, and no one was there from his point of view. So hearing this and getting confirmation about the departure of Lord Krishna, Balaram, and all the Yadus, there is intense pain in the heart of Uddhava. But since he is philosophically thoroughly conversant, so he controlled his own emotions based on the philosophical understanding. Jnanena asamyata kshatta shokam. Asamyata shokam. The unlimited shoka by his transcendental knowledge, utpatitam, he overcome Buddha, since he is intelligent person. So because Suhrdam Vadam is Dussaham, it is very difficult to hear the death of one's own near and dear. Here not one person, the entire dynasty is completely vanquished. So it is very difficult to control one's emotions. But Vidura could control all his emotions because he is philosophically conversant and is also very intelligent. He is a great devotee of the Supreme Lord also. So that is what it is the response of Uddhava. So Prabhupada writes, all these hurled him into bereavement for the time being. But because he was highly advanced in transcendental knowledge, he was quite competent to pacify himself by enlightenment. So in that way. Even Lord Krishna also, after the same episode of Lord Krishna's departure, he was also under a lot of bereavement. But remembering the words of Bhagavad Gita, words of Lord Krishna, he was also composed, which was mentioned in the first canto, chapter 15, the timely departure of Pandavas. So in the chapter, remembering the words of Lord Krishna, he was also kind of pacified himself. So that is kind of connection to this. Then Sukadeva Goswami continues, Satam Mahabhagavatam Vrajantam Kauravarshapha Vishrambad Abhyadattedam Mukyam Krishna Parigraha.
While Uddhava, the chief and the most confidential amongst the devotees of the Lord, was going away, Vidura, in affection and confidence, questioned him.
So when Uddhava was about to leave, Vidura asked one more question. So he wanted some more knowledge from Uddhava. Then he began to inquire from Uddhava. Vidura uvacha jnanam param swatmaraha prakasham yadaha yogeshvara ishvaraste vaktum bhavanno arhati yaddi vishnur bhrutya sabhrutyartha kritascharanti.
Vidura said, O Uddhava, because the servants of Vishnu, the Lord, wander in the interest of serving others, it is quite fit that you kindly describe the self-knowledge with which you have been enlightened by the Lord himself.
So here he is asking that if you consider me to be qualified person, na arhati. If you consider me to be qualified recipient, then may you please speak whatever Lord spoke to you. Jnanam param swatma raha prakasham. In order to reveal his own transcendental nature, whatever Lord Krishna spoke to you, the same thing can you speak to me? Can you narrate the same knowledge which he gave to you? Because Vishnu or Bhrutya, the devotees of Lord Vishnu are Swabhrutyartha Kritas Charanti. In order to benefit their surrendered followers, Swabhrutya, their devotees, their followers, in order to benefit them, they always reveal the knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They reveal the knowledge about the Supreme Personality of Godhead to their disciples for their benefit. So indirectly is asking that, may you accept me as your disciple and enlighten me in the transcendental knowledge which Lord Krishna delivered to you. Here Vidura is like the father to Uddhava, and that Vidura is asking that, may you accept me as your disciple and give me that transcendental knowledge. Because Lord Vishnu's devotees are always eager to bestow the mercy they received from the Supreme Lord to the people of this world, accepting them as their disciples. Swabhrutya artha kritas charanti. So in order to benefit the people of this world, they continue to travel from place to place in this world. So like that it is mentioned. And Prabhupada talks about Vishnu or Bhrutya. The servants of the Lord are actually the servants of the society. They have no interest in human society other than to enlighten them in transcendental knowledge. They are interested in imparting knowledge of the relationship of the living being with the Supreme Lord, the activities in the transcendental relationship, and the ultimate goal of human life. That is the real knowledge which can help the society to achieve the real aim of human welfare. So this is the main duty of Vishnu or Bhrutya, the devotees of Lord Vishnu. Then Prabhupada writes, the real transcendental knowledge descends in the disciplic succession from the Lord to Uddhava, from Uddhava to Vidura and so on. Such supreme transcendental knowledge is not possible to achieve by the process of imperfect speculation as performed by the so-called learned Mandel wranglers. So this is not possible by our mental speculation, but only by taking shelter of a bona fide guru coming in the line of disciplic succession. A person who knows the science of Krishna is factually a bona fide spiritual master, not anybody and everybody. Sapacho Vaishnavo Guru. So even if a Brahmana who is expert at mantra and tantra cannot become guru if he is not a devotee. But even a person born in dog eater's family, but if he is a devotee of Lord Vishnu, he is qualified to become guru. So that is how Prabhupada kind of explains here. Then in the next verse, Uddhava expresses his eagerness to, Uddhava expresses his inability to speak, accept Vidura as his disciple. Uddhava uvacha nanute tattva samradhya rishi kaushara vontike sakshat bhagavatadishto Martyalokam jihasata.
Shri Uddhava said, you may take lessons from the great learned sage Maitreya, who is nearby and who is worshipable for reception of transcendental knowledge. He was directly instructed by the personality of Godhead while he was about to quit this mortal world.
In understanding the proper etiquette, what should be done, what should not should be done, Uddhava replies to Vidura saying that for Vidura, Uddhava is like son and Maitreya is like father. So keeping that in mind, Uddhava requested Vidura to go to Rushir Kausharava Antike. May you please approach Maitreya Rishi, because Lord directly spoke to him. Lord actually spoke to him all this knowledge in order to deliver you that knowledge. So may you please visit Maitreya, and is eagerly awaiting to deliver that knowledge to you. So now I will go to Badrikashram, and may you go to the place wherever Maitreya Rishi is there. And Lord instructed him on this knowledge which is supposed to be given to you, and he is eagerly waiting for delivering this knowledge to you. Like that, Uddhava suggests Vidura. So here Prabhupada talks about Maryada Vetikrama concept in this purport. So here Prabhupada writes, although one may be well versed in the transcendental science, one should be careful about the offense of Maryada Vetikrama, or impertinently surpassing a greater personality. According to scriptural injunctions, one should be very careful of transgressing the law of Maryada Vitikrama, because by doing so one loses his duration of life, his opulence, fame, and piety, and the blessings of the world. So this is the concept of Maryada Vitikrama. Even though one may be greatly learned, but in the presence of a elderly person, one should not open one's mouth. So that is the understanding of Maryada Vetikrama. So understanding this, Uddhava suggested Vidura to go to Maitreya, who is elder to both of them. So there will be no problem in that condition. So Prabhupada writes, the rule is that in the presence of a higher personality, one should not be very eager to impart instructions, even if one is competent and well versed. So this is the rule. In fact, this rule also applies to me. All of you or many of you are actually elder to me, but I am not supposed to open my mouth in front of all of you. But since it is the instruction of temple authorities who are elder to me, I am doing this service. I am trying to share my understanding of Bhagavatam. Otherwise, I don't have any authority to instruct any one of you on the knowledge of Bhagavatam.
This is very relevant for us not to speak also. You are reading on a purport and saying something which you want to say, but if you say it is going against the purport.
No, it is not like that. I mean, in the presence of elderly Vaishnavas, unless until they say that you tell what is your understanding, we should not be eager to speak. It is not that we should not speak at all.
But I heard, Prabhu, it's age is one aspect, but there is Vayovruddha, there is Jnana Vruddha, there is Shila Vruddha, there is so many other Vruddha.
But among all of them, Vayovruddha takes precedence. When elderly person is there, if that elderly person will say that, okay, you know better than me, so may you can tell what is the answer of this. So with their permission, one can speak. That is understanding.
Okay.
So when somebody elder is there, we should not say that you don't know anything, keep quiet, I know better than you, I'll speak. It should not be like that.
But Prabhuji, we see in ISKCON also many those who are giving initiation, those gurus accept many disciples who are much elder to them in age. So that how we understand, like if this age concept, if we apply, then
no, there are some exceptions, because this the initiating guru is already authorized to be a guru by the previous authority. So when one is already authorized So now you don't have to see that age consideration, but you have to see the age consideration in relation to dealings. Even though one may be a guru of one of the elderly person, when that person is dealing in a personal dealings, he would show respect. Even though he may be guru, but they will give all respect. For example, Maharaj, whenever he had meetings, in those meetings, whenever Srinathji Prabhu is there, Maharaj would always give utmost respect to Srinathji Prabhu and would always ask Srinathji Prabhu, can you please tell what is your suggestion in this subject matter, in this in relation to temple fund collection or maintenance, all these things. Maharaj would always respectfully ask the suggestion of Srinathji Prabhu, etc. Though he is Maharaj's disciple, but in age is elder to Maharaj. So like that it is always. Initiation is giving initiation is authorized by the previous authorities, but it is not that they should not speak, they should not open, but the respect is in dealings, the respect should be shown. That is what is here.
So same thing will apply for the Shiksha Gurus also, no problem.
So that's what I am saying. Since it is ordered by my authorities, I am speaking. Otherwise, I should not come directly that I am more qualified than all of you. I can speak to you, sit and hear to me, like that. I should not say. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, Prabhuji.
I mean, you are understanding this Bhakti Vaibhav course is announced by the temple authorities and it started with Revati Valla Prabhu, and later on they told me to continue the classes. I am taking. I never approach anybody saying that I know better than all of you, sit and I'll speak. Not like that. That is not the proper approach. That is my little understanding.
Okay, Prabhuji.
So that's what I'm saying. On my own, I don't have any qualification to speak to all of you or my elders. But since it is an order from authorities, I am discussing Bhagavatam. So this is my understanding of Maryada Vidikrama.
Means I was just trying to understand that whenever we do try to do preaching also, if it is being told to you by your superiors or authorities, then it is official or authorized preaching. That way.
Yes. All of you are empowered and instructed to do preaching. So all of you can preach to elders to you also, who does not know anything here. I mean, in relation to devotional circles, when in a satsang, you are supposed to speak. If there are so many elders, at the beginning of the class, any speaker would always take permission of all the elders. And then he would speak. That is what we see every day Bhagavatam class. There are so many senior devotees are sitting in the class, and the speaker would seek blessings of all the elders who are sitting in the assembly and start speaking. This is like general courtesy or culture which we are supposed to follow. So in that way.
Okay, thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, one thing, no, earlier in the chapter they say that Maitreya is Jnana Bhakta. Yeah, and now since Uddhava is approaching, Vidura is approaching Uddhava for knowledge. Now, isn't it that getting it from Uddhava will be pure transcendental knowledge, whereas from Maitreya it would be different. It would not be pure transcendental knowledge, right?
See, my dear madam, he is not a Jnani. He is a Jnana Mishra Bhakta. He is also a devotee, but he has some tinge of Jnana. And in one of the purports, it is mentioned that Prabhupada said that now by hearing what Lord Krishna spoke to Uddhava, and Maitreya understood that what is the highest thing, to be always in the association of Supreme Lord. Then he became pure devotee. Okay. So pure devotee ban gaya. By the direct association of Lord Krishna, by hearing from Lord Krishna. So now there is no harm in hearing from Maitreya.
Okay. In one of the we read that he realized the importance of association with the Lord.
Yes. Like that.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. The Lord never tolerates the impertinence of Maryada Vitikrama. One should never pass over the honor due to an elderly spiritual master in the interest of one's own personal gain and fame. Impertinence on the part of the pseudo spiritual master is very risky to progressive spiritual realization. So one interesting thing, whenever His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj initiates any devotees here, he always says that on behalf of Srila Prabhupada, I am initiating all of you into Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara. He would never say that I am qualified to be a initiating guru. I can initiate all of you. I am initiating all of you like that. He will never say. Whenever the initiation program happens, Maharaj always says that on behalf of Srila Prabhupada and the Guru Parampara, I am giving initiation to all of you. Like that Maharaj says. So this is proper expected culture. So in that way, we have. And there was one thing I wanted to say. What is that? Yeah. See, here Uddhava is saying that if you want to understand about the Paramam Sthithim of Supreme Lord, I have already explained to you by narrating the contradictions, how they are resolved. But if you want to know about how Lord performs various pastimes in this material world, about creation, maintenance, and annihilation, all those things, may you please go to Maitreya, and he will talk about all those knowledge about the complete understanding of Lord's pastimes, etc., etc. So that is all you can understand. So there is a couple of lines I will read from you. Uddhava speaks, "Oh my dear fortunate one, what I have heard from the mouth of the Lord, I have explained, is that all of the Lord's dear Yadus are situated in their respective abodes without giving up their bodies. The Yadus are there in Prakata Dwaraka. They did not go to Prabhas and kill each other. That was actually the Devata portions who went to Prabhas, and with the permission of Lord, they disappeared. But the killing is only a display of Lord's Maya. But if you are asking about the nature of Lord's birth and pastimes, then Maitreya should be your guru. In order to understand about detailed understanding of Lord, may you go and hear from Maitreya." So these are the words spoken by Uddhava to Vidura. Then what happened? Sukadeva Goswami continues on. इति सहा विदुरेण विश्वमूर्तेर् गुणकथाया सुदया प्लावितोरुतापा क्षणमिव पुलिने यमुनस्वसुस्तां समोसिता औपगवेर्निशां ततोगात्.
Sukadeva Goswami said, O king, after thus discussing with Vidura the transcendental name, fame, qualities, etc. on the bank of the Yamuna, Uddhava was overwhelmed with great affliction. He passed the night as if it were a moment, and thereafter he went away.
So both Vidura and Uddhava discussed for the entire night all the pastimes of Lord Krishna, which were discussed in the previous 2.5 chapters or 3.5 chapters. You can say first chapter also Vidura questioning Uddhava, etc. So this entire discussion went on for the entire night. In the next morning, when the morning came, Uddhava went to Badrikashram. Nisham tato agat. When the night ended, in the next morning, leaving Vidura behind, Uddhava went ahead to Dwaraka, not Dwaraka, Badrikashram. So that is what is indicated here. So by their conversation, both Uddhava and Vidura kind of came out of the lamentation of separation from Lord Krishna, because they discussed Lord Krishna's pastime, they experienced union with Lord Krishna, and they came out of Lord Krishna's separation, and Uddhava went ahead to Badrikashram, following the order of Lord Krishna. So this conversation is happening on the bank of Yamuna, and here the Uddhava's identity is mentioned. Upagavi. Uddhava is actually son of Upagavi. Upagavi is one of the younger brothers of Lord Krishna. That's Lord Krishna's father, Vasudev. Vasudev had in total 10 brothers. So basically, Shurasena had 10 sons and 5 daughters. So I think one of the eldest person is Vasudev, and second or third person was Aupagavi. He also has another name. His name is Devabhaga. Devabhaga's another name is Upagavi, and Upagavi's son is Aupagavi, that is Uddhava. So this is about Uddhava's relationship with Lord Krishna. Actually, Uddhava is 3 years elder to Lord Krishna. He appeared a little earlier than Krishna. So that's why it is called as Aupagavi. Aupagavi is nothing but Uddhava only, who is the son of Upagavi. Upagavi is the one of the younger brother of Vasudeva. राजोवाच निधनं निधनम् उपगतेषु वृष्णिभोजेषु अधिरतायूतपयूतपेषु मुख्या स तु कथम् अवशिष्ट उद्धवो यद्धरिरपि तत्यज आकृतिं प्रदिशा.
The king inquired at the end of the pastimes of the Lord of the three worlds, Sri Krishna, and after the disappearance of the members of Vishnu and Bhoja dynasties, who were the best of the great commanders? Why did Uddhava Dharma reveal?
So here Parikshit Maharaj is actually asking this question. So same question, like just like Nataji asked, how could Uddhava remained alone? Why Krishna did not take him back to Godhead? That is to accomplish the mission which Lord Krishna had. He wanted to do this through Uddhava. So in order to accomplish mission of going to Badrikashram, he had sent Uddhava there. So because of which Lord Krishna left behind Uddhava. There is one more reason also. Lord Krishna wanted to give the knowledge of Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga through Uddhava. That's why he spoke the entire Uddhava Gita to Uddhava, which Uddhava will speak to the sages of Badrikashram, and they will speak eventually in the future generations, for the future generations all over Bharata Varsha, etc. So that this knowledge will be spread all over the world, generation after generation. So with that intention, Lord Krishna left Uddhava behind and Krishna went ahead. And later on, after delivering the message to the sages of Badrikashram, Uddhava again enters back into the unmanifest pastimes of Lord Krishna in the Dwaraka. So that is what is indicated here. So Prabhupada writes, according to Sri Jiva Goswami, Nidanam means the transcendental abode of the Lord. Ni means the highest and Dhanam means the opulence. The highest opulence is the abode of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's why it is called Nidanam. So all the intimate associates of Lord Krishna are there eternally in the spiritual abode of Lord Krishna. That's why they are always there. But why Uddhava did not go? In order to fulfill the mission of Lord Krishna. Once the mission is accomplished, even Uddhava also enters into Dwaraka. That will be mentioned in the one of the future verses. And that is more elaborately explained in the 11th canto. At the end of the 11th canto, how Uddhava came back to Dwaraka and entered into Dwaraka, Saprakata Leela, etc. So it is mentioned in the last 4 lines, Lord Krishna ordered Uddhava by signal to go to Badrikashrama after his departure, and Uddhava, the pure devotee of the Lord, carried out the order more faithfully than going back to Godhead or the abode of the Lord. That was the cause of his remaining alone even after the departure of the Lord from the face of the earth. Shri Shuka Uvacha Brahmashapapadeshena Kalena Moga Vanchita Samrutya Swakulam Petam Takshan Deham Achintayat.
Sukadeva Goswami replied, my dear king, the cursing of the Brahmanas was only a plea, but the actual fact was the supreme desire of the Lord. He wanted to disappear from the face of the earth after dispatching his excessively numerous family members. He thought to himself as follows.
So it says that taking the plea of Gandhari's curse and also the curse of the Brahmanas, Lord Krishna himself created all the ill omens in Dwaraka and requested all the Yadus to travel to Prabhas and requested them to worship the Devatas and Pitrus and then Brahmanas and then requested them to feed the Brahmana, then honor the remnants of the Brahmanas and drink the liquor. And then he told them to depart from this world. They departed. But for the material, from the vision of the material people, for the Kali Yuga to begin, Lord Krishna created an illusion that the Yadus fought among themselves, being intoxicated by that Maireya, that beverage, and they fought among themselves, they died. That's why it is said that Samhrutya Swakulam Spitam Taksan Deha Achintayat. Then eventually, after the disappearance of all the Yadus, Lord Balram entered into the ocean by becoming Shesha, and then Lord Krishna sat underneath a tree and he also departed from this world, giving up his body. That's what is mentioned here. Taksan Deham Achintayat. But the Acharyas explained that Lord Krishna did not leave behind the material body. Instead, Lord Krishna went back to Dwaraka to enter into Aprakata, and Deham refers to that Lord Narayana who entered into Lord Krishna at the time of his birth in the prison cell of Kamsa or in the house of Vasudev. Now he will go back to Vaikuntha, which is located just above Satyaloka, in order to resume his function of maintaining the entire universe. When Krishna appeared, he entered into the body of Krishna, and Taksan Deham, giving up the transcendental form of Lord Krishna, Dwarakadesh, that Narayana, the Lord of Vaikuntha, returned to his Vaikuntha abode. Achintayat. This is actually inconceivable. This entire pastime is actually an inconceivable. In order to convince the materialistic persons, Lord Krishna left behind a material body. And Yadus fought among themselves and killed each other. But for devotees, there is an entire set of events were taking place. This is Lord's inconceivable nature. He does something, actually happens something else. But both are there, both are happened, both are accepted as Lord's Leela. This is the inconceivable nature of Lord Krishna. And this inconceivable nature of Lord Krishna is kind of explained by Prabhupada in the entire purport about various things about Lord Krishna's departure and Narayana's departure, Narayana's going back to Vaikuntha and Lord Krishna going back to Dwaraka, and is leaving behind a body, material body to begin Kali Yuga. All these details are mentioned in the purport, taking reference from Krishna Sandarbha of Jiva Goswami and taking references from Bhagavad Gita and many other things, many Acharyas references. So since we have only few minutes, we'll try to complete 5 more verses are there in this chapter. We'll try to complete that.
Prabhuji, there is some confusion. Shall I ask now or later on after finishing the verses?
Later on, at the end of the chapter, we'll go ahead with the flow of the chapter. Tasmalokaduparate mayi jnanam madashrayam arhati uddhava evadda samprati atmavatambara.
Now I shall leave the vision of this mundane world, and I see that Uddhava, the foremost of my devotees, is the only one who can be directly entrusted with knowledge about me.
Yeah. So Lord Krishna thought that Uddhava is Atmavatambara. Those people who have understood about me is best among them. Atmavatamara. I consider Uddhava to be myself. And then I leave Uddhava behind in order to disseminate the knowledge about my jnanam, about me, about the process to attain me, the process of Nishkama Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. This is what he taught to Uddhava in the Uddhava Gita in the 11th canto. And Lord Krishna delivered that knowledge to Uddhava so that Uddhava can disseminate this knowledge throughout the entire world by speaking this knowledge to the sages of Badrikashram. So this is the intention with which Lord Krishna kept Uddhava behind. So it is about that knowledge. Since Lord Krishna considered Uddhava to be himself in that way, Atmavatam Vara, in that way. Nodavo anuvapi manyuno yadgunairnadriti prabhu ato madvayunam lokam grahayan yahatishtatu.
Uddhava is not inferior to me in any way because he is never affected by the modes of material nature. Therefore, he may remain in this world in order to disseminate specific knowledge of the personality of Godhead.
Same thing. Uddhava anu api manyunu is nowhere inferior to me. Yad guner nadrita prabhu, and he is not at all disturbed by three modes of material nature. Ato mad vayunam lokam grahyam ihatishtatu. Though I am leaving this world behind, I will keep Uddhava to perform my mission of disseminating knowledge far and wide. So keeping that in mind, Lord Krishna left Uddhava behind, and Krishna went ahead, and Uddhava moved ahead with the mission of Lord Krishna. Evam Triloka
Prabhuji,
Guruna.
why does the translation say Supreme Personality of Godhead when Krishna himself is speaking?
So this is Krishna is thinking about Uddhava.
Yeah,
Uddhava is,
but when he say specific knowledge of Supreme Personality of Godhead, why does it say that? He could have said specific knowledge about me. But when somebody is saying in third person, it means to say either the people different. No? It means it could signify that two people are different.
These shlokas are Shuka Uvacha ke under all these shlokas are so Shukadeva Goswami is narrating, I think, na all these shlokas.
But when you say not inferior to me, if the sentence starts with not inferior to me, it should end with. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm nobody to say.
And no. If you remember Bhagavad Gita, many times Lord Krishna says me, many times Lord Krishna says Supreme Personality of God, Bhagavan, Vishnu, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So sometimes Lord Krishna says that it's me. Sometimes Lord Krishna indicates Vishnu or Narayana and many other. So this is like it is like I and us, you and we, I and we, like that we say na, in the singular and plural.
I know. It's more of a respectful I understand.
Yeah.
Hum karte the. ऐसे मतलब it could be that.
See, one simple thing. Not necessarily that everyone should be Krishna's devotee only. Some people could be Rama's devotee. Some people could be Vishnu's devotee. So Lord Krishna includes everyone. When he says personality of Godhead, that includes each and every avatara, each and every form of Vishnu. So in order to attain any form of Vishnu, one should follow Nishkam Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. These are what spoken to Uddhava in the Uddhava Gita.
Yeah.
So from that point of view, you should take.
Okay.
Evam Triloka Guruna Sandishta Shabda Yonina Bhadrashramam Asadhya Harim Ije Samadina.
Shukadeva Goswami informed the king that Uddhava, being thus instructed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the source of all Vedic knowledge and the spiritual master of the three worlds, reached the pilgrimage site of Badrikashram and engaged himself there in trance to satisfy the Lord.
So, being ordered by Lord Krishna, the Guru of the three planetary systems, and who is also Shabda Yoni, who is the source of transcendental sound vibration, the giver of the Vedas, giver of the Vedic knowledge, who gave the essence of Vedic knowledge in the form of Uddhava Gita to Uddhava. So, following his instruction, he went to Badrikashram. He spoke the same knowledge to Narnarayan Rishi and all the sages, and there he also performed some austerities. Since he went to the ashram of Narnarayan Rishi, who is performing austerities, in order to follow in the footsteps of Narnarayan Rishi, Uddhava also performed some austerities in order to worship Narnarayan Rishi. These details are more elaborately mentioned in the 11th canto of Bhagavatam. What is exactly he did, that is all mentioned there. A brief summary is also given here, in one verse. So then, what happened to Vidura? That is mentioned in the next three verses. Viduropi Uddhava Shrutva Krishnasya Paramatmana Kridayo Pata Dehasya Karmani Shlagitani Cha.
Vidura also heard from Uddhava about the appearance and disappearance of Lord Krishna, the super soul in the material world, which is a subject matter sought after with great perseverance by the great sages.
Whatever he has heard from Uddhava is mentioned here. Dehanyasam cha tasyaivam Dhiranam Dhairyavardhanam Anyesham Dushkarataram Pumsham Viklavatmanam.
The gods, Go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, one of you please read. It's already 8:30.
The Lord's glorious acts and his acceptance of various transcendental forms for the performance of extraordinary pastimes in the mortal world are very difficult for anyone other than his devotees to understand. And for the beasts, they are simply a mental disturbance.
Yeah. So Deha Nastyam Tastevam Dhiranam Daya Vardhanam. Lord Krishna giving up his this world, concluding his pastimes as the disappearance of the Yadus, Dhiranam Dharya Vardhanam. For the devotees, it increases their Dharya. Their understanding of the Supreme Lord, it is increased. But for the Viklavanam, Pashunam, Avik Viklavanam, for those who are like animals whose intelligence is disturbed, for them it is Dushkarataram, it is very difficult to understand. They come up with conclusion that Krishna is not Lord, Krishna is only ordinary human being, he died like us, and his family members killed in front of him only. What kind of God is he? That kind of conclusion they come up with. So these first two lines are in relation to Vidura. Vidura's Dhairya actually increased. For the materialistic people, they actually come up with false conclusions. So Prabhupada elaborates on the Dhairya Vardhanam meaning in the entire purport. Atmanam cha kurushreshta krishnena manasekshitam dhyayan gate bhagavate ruroda prema vivala.
Understanding that he was remembered by Lord Krishna while quitting this world, Vidura began to cry loudly, overwhelmed by the ecstasy of love.
So when he heard that from Uddhava, that when Uddhava told that Lord Krishna spoke this knowledge to Maitreya Muni so that it will be delivered to you, may you please go to Maitreya and accept him as his guru and hear from him. And Uddhava came, Uddhava understand that Lord Krishna remembered me. He kind of exhibited his ecstatic symptom. Krishnena manasekshitam dhyayan gate bhagavate. At the time of departure, Lord Krishna remembered me. At the thought of that, Uddhava became Ruroda Prema Vivala. Being overcome with prema, he began to cry in ecstasy. Then what happened?
Talked about Vidura, no, Prabhuji, that and I didn't understand how Vidura was remembered by the Lord at the end.
Uddhava told that, my dear Vidura, may you please go to Maitreya. Lord Krishna gave all the knowledge about himself to Maitreya so that it will be delivered to you. So this is mentioned by Acharyas as an explanation of that verse.
Here it says that Vidura was overwhelmed by the ecstasy of love when he understood that Lord Krishna thought of him at the last moment.
Ah, yes.
So means Krishna had mentioned to Vidura or Maitreya, Uddhava or Maitreya something about Vidura.
Ah, there must have some discussion about him also.
Okay.
So many details are not mentioned in the Bhagavatam. Acharyas kind of throw light about what exactly happened in between, etc., etc. But the understanding is whatever the contradictions, that knowledge about the contradiction pastimes of the Lord, that knowledge was spoken to both Uddhava and Maitreya. And when Vidura expressed that, please accept me as your disciple and reveal that knowledge to me, whatever Lord Krishna spoke. And Uddhava said that Lord Krishna spoke that knowledge to Maitreya so that it will be revealed to you. So may you please go to Maitreya.
Okay.
So understanding that Vidura became overwhelmed by love of Godhead. Prema Vivala.
Okay, thank you.
So in that way it is explained by Acharyas. Kalindya kati bisiddha aho bir bharata rishabha prapadyata swa saritam yatra mitra suto muni.
After passing a few days on the bank of river Yamuna, Vidura, the self-realized soul, reached the bank of Ganges, where the great sage Maitreya was situated.
Because previously Vidura did not have any thinking that he will meet Uddhava in Vrindavan. Because after visiting all the other holy places, he did not visit Dwarka or Madura or Vrindavan. So before departing from this world, again going back to Yamalok, let me visit the Lord Krishna's pastimes. With that intention, he came to Yamuna, came to Vrindavan. By good fortune, he happened to meet Uddhava and he happened to hear a whole conversation overnight. After Uddhava left from that place, he stayed there for a couple of days and he visited all the pastimes of Lord Krishna. And then, since he was instructed by Uddhava to go to Maitreya, Vidura goes to Haridwar. There he meets Maitreya. And what happened next is the conversation between Uddhava and Maitreya and Vidura for the next 2 cantos. And what happened afterwards will be explained in the last chapter of the 4th canto. So that is what is the continuation of the event. He hears from Maitreya for a few days. Then again, understanding that his brother is suffering in Hastinapur, he comes to Hastinapur. He delivers Dhritarashtra and takes Uttarashtra and Gandhari to the forest. There, after the departure of Gandhari and Dhritarashtra, Uddhava also gives up his body and goes to Yamalok. That is the entire life events of Vidura. And Uddhava goes to, Uddhava already went to Badrikashram. After delivering the message, stays there for some time. He worships Lord Narayana Rishi by performing austerities, and he comes back. Actually, there are 2 pastimes in relation to Uddhava. In one form, he comes to Vrindavan and he stays in Kusum Sarovar like a Gulmalata, because that was his cherished desire to become Gulmalata. In one form, he is there in Vrindavan as Gulmalata in Kusum Sarovar, next to Kusum Sarovar. In another form, he went to Dwaraka and entered into Aprakata Leela of Lord Krishna. So these are the future activities of both Uddhava and Vidura. So this is kind of the conclusion of the 4 chapters, the conversation between Uddhava and Vidura. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, 3-4 verses prior we discussed about when Krishna, you mentioned that Krishna's in Narayan portion within him, he went back to Vaikuntha. And then he actually went back to Dwarka and entered in the Aprakat Leela. And we also hear many times that after this Krishna went back to Goloka, as well as we also hear that Krishna goes back to some other universe to perform the manifest pastimes over there. So how we understand this, like various, it's quite confusing.
No. Krishna went to Goloka when he visited Vrindavan only. After killing Dantavakra, then he visited Vrindavan. That time Lord Krishna, the son of Yashoda, and along with all the Vrajavasis, they went back to Goloka. And the Krishna who came back to Dwaraka is Madhura Krishna. And Madhura or Dwaraka both are same in one sense. That Dwaraka Krishna remained in Dwaraka only. He did not go to Prabhas. The one personality who went to Prabhas is the Lord of all the Devatas, that was Lord Narayana, who appeared in Chaturbhuja form. After the departure of all the Devatas, he also departed to Vaikuntha, which is there above Satyaloka. And he is going to the next universe, that is Nityalila, that is keep happening. So in relation to our universe, we have to see this. Yeah.
So what entered in the Dwarka in Aprakat Leela was which part, like which?
That is Madhura Krishna, the son of Mother Devaki and Vasudev. That Krishna remained in Dwaraka. The Narayana who entered into Krishna, he went back to Vaikuntha, which is there above Satyaloka, who is the maintainer of the entire material world.
And what is the essential difference between Mathura Krishna and the Krishna which went back to Goloka along with the Vrajavasis?
See, Vrindavan Krishna is the son of Yashoda. Madhura Krishna is the son of Devaki. Both are different. Yashoda Nandan and Devaki Nandan both are different. Devaki Nandan is Vasudev Krishna. Yashoda Nandan is Nandanandan Krishna. Nandanandan Krishna plays the flute, and Devaki Nandan is the prince, is a royal prince. He is the first quadruple expansion, the Vasudeva of the first quadruple expansion. Krishna, who is called as Swarupa, the original, what is it? I don't understand that the different avatars. The original Krishna, Swarupa, is always there in Vrindavan. He never leaves Vrindavan. The flute playing Krishna is always in Vrindavan only. But when he expands himself into Balaram, that Balaram expands into the first quadruple expansion, who are called as Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, and Ruddha, who stay in Madhura or Dwaraka. The Vasudeva is Vasudeva Krishna, Vasudeva, Sankarshana is Balramji, and Pradyumna and Anuruddha is the son and grandson of Krishna. They are there in Madhura or Dwaraka. So these are like some details.
Quite confusing, Prabhuji.
I don't know because you are putting so many things together. That's why it is confusing. Simple.
No, means
Just
I understood. See what you have said, I have understood that Goloka Krishna is Nandanandan Krishna, which remains always in Vrindavan, never goes out of Vrindavan, and he goes back with the Vrajavasis after the killing of Dantavakra.
Yes.
And
Done.
this Mathura Krishna comes back to Dwarka and he stays with the Dwarkavasis, and at the end of the pastime, the Narayana portion of him, and from there he goes back to Vaikuntha.
Yes.
And the remaining, I mean, then this Vasudev Krishna, which you were talking about for expansion, that comes back and enters into the Aprakat Leela in Dwarka.
Yes.
That's what right now, what I have understood.
Clear. Yeah.
Okay. And what was the curse of Brahmanas, Prabhuji, to Krishna? Something was mentioned in that, na? That
we
because of
in
that,
the previous chapters, no? We discussed and all everything we discussed in the first chapter, second chapter.
That is, Gandhari had cursed that like my 100 children died, your dynasty also will meet the disturbance.
Brahmana's curse is also there. I mean, if you have heard that Maushalila 11th canto, it's like once Samba was, all the other Yadu Kumaras were playing with the sages. They decorated Samba as a lady and they approached the sages saying that, my dear sages, please tell me what will be the child, boy or girl.
So that curse itself, which Brahmanas gave to Samba, that curse itself.
That only.
Okay, fine. Fine, Prabhuji. And I mean, Arjun Gita and Uddhav Gita, there is some essential, means there must be some essential difference. That is why twice it was been said in the same. So maybe it is a big topic.
Okay, thank you very much. It's already 8:45. Devotees are late. Again, they'll complain. Classes are going late. Karke. If you have some personal query, you can write to me. I mean, otherwise, others are in hurry. Others are in worry. How long this will continue? Like that.
Okay,
thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
See, devotees are very happy that when we are ending, they are very happy.
Prabhuji,